Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah. See, if you believe in the God in you, it's a better place. Creating the force and the power to live a better life. Just know that love and joy and peace is one in all of the same space. That you were chosen just like God. That's right. Only you can make the change. Share your energy. Shine so bright from darkness from darkness to light. Yeah, and you'll find your way out. Oh, it won't seem way out. The power of God will flow through you from way out.
Welcome. This is Alchemizing Energy, and I'm your host, DJ Genesis. And today we have a special guest, Prince. Actually, Oma Dynast Oba. Okay. Is it two Omos? Did you say?
No, it's Omo. Omo means child, and Oba means king. So Omo, O-M-O, Oba, O-B-A. Right. It means child of the king. So
wow. Okay. Prince Dynast Amir, also known as Prince Dynast Amir. And we're going to be discussing his website, where also all of his tours. He specializes in how to travel and go abroad and all this different stuff. And, if anybody knows him, he's been to multiple countries all over the world, in Africa. And, he also has tours, and we're going to be promoting those tours as we go along.
Yes, and you coming to Nigeria in August?
Yes. I'm going to be coming to Nigeria to the Oshun Osogbo Fest.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I've been wanting to go to that for the longest time.
Well, hey, you coming now? You coming?
Yeah, so I'm excited. I finally get to find a group, because I always wanted to go, but I was always afraid to kind of go by myself. Mm-hmm. So let's get into it. People say, "Oh, Nigeria."
Yes, ma'am.
People get scared. So what is the biggest misconception? And what are the biggest, misconception lies Americans have been told about traveling to Nigeria?
Now let me be upfront and honest. Nigeria has its issues. That is reality. But it's not all of Nigeria. So my travel is focused on the Southwest, which we call Yoruba land. So we focus on primarily Lagos State and Osun State. Those are where we primarily visit, and those areas are for the most part, relative. They're safe. They're safe. Now, when you get to the north, okay, that's a whole different ball game. All right. So, what's happened? Sorry, let me turn this off. My notification is going crazy. There we go. Sorry about that. So what's happened, what people don't realize is Nigeria, like the United States of America, is made up of many states, 36 states in Nigeria. I believe 36. In United States of America, we have 50. So just because, like, prime example, there was a mass shooting the other day. Unfortunate what happened to those babies in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that's the same reality in Atlanta, Georgia.
Exactly. People forget how kind of massive some of these places are.
Right, exactly. So what's going on in the north in Borno, in Niger State, that's not going on in Osun. All right. So I think that's the issue. Like people want to group, not just Nigeria, but even Africa in general, it's just one big block. And if something's going on in Sudan, it's the same reality in Senegal. Right. That's just not how it works. Or if something's going on in Borno State, That's is also has to be going on in Oshun, and that's not the case. So that's the first stereotype or misconception when it comes to Nigeria. Also, people be hustling, but I would say that what they call scamming is everywhere. In any developing country you go to, you're gonna run into people that's trying to get their hustle on. Okay, you just tell them
Right.
no. All right. So I think that's another misconception. Yeah, you might be asked for a tip at the airport. Okay. All you got to say is, no, my brother, I'm good. I've never been held hostage at the airport because I didn't pay a tip. They might say, my brother, something small for me. And you just say, hey, I ain't got it. And you keep it pushing. But just about every airport I have visited in a developing country, that has always been the case.
Right. So would Nigeria be your first choice to go in Africa of all places if you had a choice?
See, it just depends on what you're trying to accomplish. It just depends on what kind of experience you want. That's the main thing. That's why that's a hard question to ask. Now, if you just want to get your 10 toes on the ground, you want to go to Africa, get 10 toes, step on the ground, kiss the ground. I'm home. I'm back. I've returned. Senegal is a good country. Reason why I say Senegal is because it's easy to enter. You can fly direct, depending which day of the week you're going. You can fly direct from JFK or even from DC now to Dakar, Senegal. You don't need a visa. As long
Yeah,
as you
it
got.
used to be like you had to go through Holland, which is crazy. I'm like, why do you have to go to Holland and then go to Africa? I mean, have you
Well,
experienced it?
say that again. I didn't hear you.
I know when I went to South Africa, I had to go to Holland first and then go to South Africa. I don't know why. But
Well, it just depends where you're flying out of and which
I think I
airline.
was at Atlanta. So it didn't make any sense. Like went straight across. I don't know what that was about. I don't know
Which
what.
airline? Which airline did you fly?
I went to South African Airlines. Well, no, I
Not,
went to
not, 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 not out of Atlanta. They don't fly out of Atlanta.
no,
Well,
I had to go
okay,
to
let me
Holland to
back
get
out.
on
Let me back
South
out.
African Airlines. I had to go to Holland to get the South African Airlines.
Okay,
It might have been how they booked the
yeah,
trip.
yeah. It just depends which airline, and yeah, it depends on the airline, the cost. If you the more layovers, the more usually, not always, the cheaper it is to fly. So yeah, if you don't mind being inconvenienced,
Yeah, it was like Atlanta. Well, where I was, Michigan to Atlanta, Atlanta to Holland, Europe, and then Holland to Johannesburg, and then Johannesburg to
well, I mean, if you who booked your ticket?
it was for Red Bull, the Red Bull Energy Drink Music Academy. So they
Yeah,
probably
yeah. We'll see. They're probably saving money. They wanted to save some money, so
right,
so that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's what it is.
right. But there's direct flights that you can go and not
Correct.
have
There are direct flights, but again, those direct flights, especially on Delta, could be pricey.
right.
You
So
know.
yeah, Delta is yep, from Michigan to yep, this is a Delta hub. So that's exactly what's going on.
Mhm.
Delta and then Delta to Holland and then South African Airlines to yep. So
Yeah.
you've traveled extensively. What is the biggest shocker that you've experienced coming back and forth, like going the first time you went to Africa?
Um, the biggest culture shock. Well, see, I had an open mind. I had a very open mind.
Right.
You have to. So the first thing you have to realize and drill in yourself is that Africa's not America.
Mm.
Africa's not America. Things are ran a little bit differently. That's how just things are ran. So you have to have patience. You have to have an open mind. And that doesn't mean, allow people to run over you, but it's not America. These are developing countries you're going to. So you have to exercise patience.
Well,
Uh,
one thing I found out is everybody, well, I know in South Africa the biggest thing they be like, oh, I don't speak English.
in South Africa?
Exactly. But they were joking. It was a joke. Like
Okay,
everyone had
yeah.
that joke. I don't speak English, right? But
Mhm.
everybody said it in English, so that's how they speak English. But they would be like, "No, we don't speak English." It was like they have a weird way of joking. in South Africa. Like, okay. And also, I would say that I would be seeing people that looked like people from America. I'd be like, is it
Mhm.
Uncle so and so? Like, is that so and so?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's really seeing people like, is that? That's the part that kind of like a lot of doppelgangers were happening when I was
Oh
growing
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Especially in Benin.
up.
Somebody asked, "What about traveling to Benin?" I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, I don't understand. If you could be more specific with your question, I don't understand the person's question. What about it?
So how do you stay safe in Nigeria as a visitor? What is the most safest way to travel? Like when you do make a trip out to Nigeria?
Um, See, I move around by myself. Yeah, I mean, just the same. I say the same precautions you take if you move around alone here in America. Just or especially specifically if you're in a major city. See, again, we're saying Nigeria, but it depends where you're at. Uh, some places aren't as busy as others. Some cities aren't as busy as others. So, the way you can move around, say Oshogbo, um, might be a little bit different from Lagos, definitely Abuja or somewhere else. But I mean, the same precautions you take, um, if you're moving around at night in a major city here in America, I would do the same thing in Nigeria.
So, what mistakes do first time travelers make when that put them at risk? Like, for instance, I mean, you're saying it is similar to America, but I know sometimes hotels could be kind of like, if when you go to third world. Well, is Nigeria considered a third world country?
It's a developing country.
Okay, so it like hotels, is it like a danger? Like, as far I've heard things like people get like human trafficked. Like, I heard people get kidnapped. Is that like
I mean,
a
people
reality?
that happens here in America.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm just like, we gotta take away some of the fears that people have. So that's the
Well,
main.
then my question would be, what hotel are you staying at in Nigeria if you're worried about being kidnapped or human trafficked?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
They
don't
have they
don't.
have they have Radisson hotels, they have Hilton hotels. I mean, you could just go on hotels.com or Momondo,
Is it similar to
our Priceline, and you can find hotels. Like, I mean, if you choose, like they have these hotels, these random hotels here in Atlanta on the side, off the side of the freeway that are, obviously look like the people are being trafficked out of these hotels. That if you stay at a hotel like that, then yeah, you might be in trouble. But I mean, again, it just don't stay. You choose your hotel. So I mean,
right?
you have reviews. You can read about the hotels, so you should have a full understanding of where you're staying. So
So
avoid
I
that.
heard that traveling in Africa, like even on the road, like there was a guy, I think he was a boxer that he was in a car accident. I heard the travel by car can be kind of different in America versus, like, I heard that someone said that the street signs are a suggestion. The red light is like stop.
Right.
In certain parts, it's like a question mark. It's not like an exclamation part. Like how in America, like, okay, the red light stop. The traffic accidents are a little bit different. Like, have you heard that same thing?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the road laws aren't really enforced and followed like they are here in America, depending on where you're at. But I mean, I haven't really had too many. I mean, the amount of traffic accidents that happen here in major cities between Atlanta and LA, where I used to live, I mean, they're on the same level as when I go to major cities in Africa.
So, what about the police? Is this similar to how it is in South America, where you have kind of like a cartelish type of police force, where like you have checkpoints and you can get extorted? Like, I know in South America, you get extorted and stuff by the police and things like that. It's kind of weird. Is it similar to that?
It depends. They have checkpoints. Yeah, now I would say this: you sometimes will get shook down. are asked for a bribe by the police in Nigeria. That does happen. Uh, but lately it's been when it happens, either I have it or I don't. I'm gonna pay it or I'm not.
So what do you have to like kind of put your money in a certain place so you don't get shook down, or is it like just have a certain amount of money left to the
No,
side?
it's just either I have it or I don't.
Hmm. So what cultural differences might surprise Americans at traveling to this part of the country, the world? You said that
Um,
understand that you're in Africa. What would be the difference?
well, I mean, like I said, a lot of the so language
Mhm.
primarily, Nigeria, they speak pidgin. I mean, they do speak English, but a lot of majority of the time, depending where you're at, they'll speak their native language. Um, the informal economy, I call it, but it's really formal but informal. Um, the majority of the shopping I do at the local markets. Like I really don't go to your box your normal shopping malls like we have here in America. I eat the local food. Um, so some people, they might have an issue with that, which doesn't make sense to me. Like, why travel to a foreign country and don't want to eat the local food? Um,
Did you have to get like certain shots before went there for like say malaria? Did you have to like get like a certain like
I don't. Well, number one, let me say this: I am not a medical professional, but I don't do shots. So no.
mm. So, and you haven't gotten sick, have you?
I had a little stomach bug, but like one time, but that's it.
Hmm. I think that because I mean, I know certain places you travel, you got to watch out for malaria and things like that, like bit by mosquitoes. Is there a lot of like things like that, like mosquitoes and things that you got to watch out for in that type area, or is it more for like the rural areas?
I've seen more mosquitoes in Atlanta during the summertime than I have in all of Africa.
Wow. See, this is the type of stuff that people really think. They think you got to like sleep with a net over your bed, you know?
Well, some people do, um, but but malaria is not prevalent in America like it is in Africa. So you still want to take some safety precautions, but if you want to sleep with a net over your bed, that's fine. Malaria pills, that's a decision between you and your physician. Um, but yeah, that's just between you and your physician. Like when it gets into the shots and the pills, that's between you and your physician. I don't do any of that personally, but that's between you and your physician.
Right. So because this was getting into food, water, health, and stuff before arriving. That was pretty much the thing. What about Nigerian customs and etiquette? Etiquette, is there like a specific etiquette that you have to like be aware of, like that's different? Because I know in certain countries, like their customs, they have. When I went to Cuba, they had machine guns at the when you kind of going into Cuba, they got machine guns and stuff. So is that like something that might be shocking, like for a first person at first time going to Africa, that they might be aware of, like certain things that they do?
Um, I
Is it
mean,
is it the same there? They have like machine guns and customs, or just regular customs officers?
sometimes they carry rifles.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, well, they probably are doing it now that ICE is over there right now at our airports in certain places too. So, um, what are common mistakes African Americans make when they visit Nigeria?
Not being patient, not realizing that you're in Nigeria, not America.
Being patient in what way?
I mean, things move slower sometimes. Like a lot of the um a lot of what we're used to in America, like for example, power might go out and you might have to wait a minute for the generator to come on,
Oh
depending on
wow.
where you're at. Um, little things like that. A lot of the luxuries that we have here in America, some aren't readily available um, in some of the countries you travel to. Well, yeah. So, like some of the places you travel to in Nigeria. But see, for me, I'm all about experience. So I don't get too caught up in custom officers with rifles and If the power goes out, like if I'm going to those Oshun festival, I want to experience Oshun. That's what I'm going for. I'm going for the culture and the experience. So I realized beforehand that a lot of the luxuries that I might have here in America, I might not have, um, and it's just temporary. I might be discomfort. I might experience some discomfort um, a little bit when I'm traveling in developing countries, but I'm there for something to experience something that I can't experience here in America, and that's like Oshun Oshogbo, or going to visit a Dogon, or going to Ile-Ife, or going to Goree Island, or going to Magal in Tuba. So a lot of the things I just don't get too caught up in.
Right. I just wanted to get
Because
past
my
all of
thing
that.
is, I'm just me. As long as you're a nice person, um, I think being nice and sincere, that currency is good everywhere you go. Of course, you want to be safe, but just being nice, you'll be fine.
So, I know I like kind of started off with some questions that I'm just mainly trying to get past all of like the rigmarole of like what people might think when they first go to a place
Hmm.
that might shock them. Like, oh, okay, I see it. If you've never traveled before, this is your first time leaving America, you might see that type of stuff. You might go and you don't be scared, just because they're dressed military and might be at the border with their machine does not mean that you're in danger. It's just that that's how that they enforce their thing.
Hmm.
Like I said, me going to Cuba for the first time, seeing that, it scared me, but I got over it. um, what about I heard you said that being patient, going to the regular markets, things like that. I heard that there it's a lot of bartering. You don't just take the
Hmm.
first price you get. Let's talk about even the markets purchasing things and going back and forth in that. Do you like what are the differences in maybe shopping in America versus shopping in
Yeah,
Nigeria?
everything's negotiable. Yeah, you negotiate everything. My rule of thumb is whatever price they give you at the market, cut it by 75%. Start there. But yeah, everything's negotiable, and of course, you having an American accent, they're gonna uh, probably jack up the price some. But everything's negotiable. That's the great thing I love about the market. I love the hustle. I love the aggressiveness. I love and especially in these markets in West Africa, specifically Lagos, these markets are ran by the women. So if you're
Mm.
into women empowerment, I mean, like it's woman empowerment personified at a lot of these markets.
My head Orisha is Oya, so my Orisha rules the marketplace.
Mhm.
So yeah, it makes sense that a lot of women are kind of running that aspect of things
Yeah,
still. So
yeah,
that's
they run the market. So, if you're into woman empowerment, if you want to see women leading, especially in business, I mean, the market is where it's at.
wow. So you're gonna be going back and forth with a woman about the price. She's like, no, no, no. What if
Oh,
you
no, 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 no. I negotiate. Oh yeah, we go back and forth. Oh, definitely. But
what if you pretend
it's
like you
part of
have
the
a
culture.
Nigerian actually like, no, I want to. No, they're gonna be like, no, we know you're not from that.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, they already know.
They can see you coming a mile away.
Yeah, they see
I
come a
see
mile
you
away.
at the door. Okay.
Hmm.
All right, so the great 149 said when I go to different places in Africa, I need a yellow fever vaccine, and I take malaria pills and diarrhea pills as precaution. I'm not a medical doctor, so that's not medical advice, but that's just
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I mean, if that, like I said, if you want to load up on pills and vaccines, I just say consult with a medical doctor. That's all I tell people. But
Right,
like if
Jesse
you're
says
coming straight from America to Nigeria, they don't ask for that. But if you want to load up on that, more power to you.
do they still make you have that COVID vaccine before you come there? I know
No,
back then.
no,
Okay, so that stopped.
no. Yeah, stop.
Okay, good. All right. Um, what are other customs and etiquette when it comes down to Nigeria? Like, if you go to eat there, do you have to like? Is it a certain etiquette that you have? I know if you go to Asia, there's certain etiquette. When you go to different countries, what are like some of the main etiquette that you find in Nigeria that is a little bit different than America?
Eating with your hands is very, especially traditional food, is very normal. Here we use forks, spoons, depending where we're at, but eating with your hands is the norm.
Do you eat on the floor too? I know in Ethiopia they do the floor thing. They put injera on the floor and stuff? You ever eat on the floor?
It just depends. Depends the setting.
Hmm. What else? Can traveling to Nigeria be spiritually or psychologically transforming? Like, what does it feel like for descendants of enslaved Africans to step foot in Nigeria?
Oh, I loved it. I mean, the first time I went to Nigeria in 2018, I fell in love with the country. Like I didn't listen to the people who were, I didn't listen to the stereotypes and the misinformation. I went by myself. I fell in love with it. And I had a friend who was there, who I met through a mutual friend who here in Atlanta, but I fell in love with the country.
Was it one of the first places you went, or did you go somewhere else first? Did you go to
No,
Nigeria?
my first time going to Africa was 2011. I went to Tanzania.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Tanzania, I do plan. You do have a trip to there too, as well,
Yeah,
coming up.
in September to Zanzibar.
So guys, please watch out for that trip as well. Zanzibar. We're gonna talk about your website pretty soon. I just wanted to just get past all these questions
No
about
problem.
Nigeria.
No. Ask so many questions you want to.
Can travel to Nigeria help undo misconceptions about Africa as a whole, or is it just is Nigeria a completely different place?
I think travel to anywhere in Africa could do misconceptions about Africa as a whole, but specifically travel to a country, especially, well, you're correct, yes, especially a country like Nigeria, where I think the propaganda machine is so negative against Nigeria that like going and visiting yourself, and seeing for yourself is the most powerful counter to that.
Since there's like this whole FBA movement, foundational Black movement, and I know that a lot of people in Africa, well, some people are aware of it. Do you think that there is a divide between Africans and Americans right now?
I mean, I think there's always been a divide somewhat, or a disconnect. There's always been a disconnect.
And do you feel that when you go? Have you felt that at
No,
all? You don't,
no,
but you don't feel it there. It's more online.
no. Right. I tell people if Africa was that bad, my first trip would have been my last.
Wow. It's interesting how there's so many misconceptions about like, okay, that they don't like us, and
The majority of people have never been who come with these misconceptions.
right. Well, it's Tariq and he's been, so I'm trying to figure out, well, like, I don't know, maybe he had a bad experience.
There's certain things that trend that people hop on in order to, make money.
Mm,
So
right.
yeah.
So do you believe that Pan-Africanism is dead?
No.
Mm, why?
It just needs to be reimagined. I'll say that.
How?
Um I think it needs to be more practical. Um it needs to be more um and this is the part that we're still learning because there's really no blueprint for it. More business oriented,
Mm,
uh, more building oriented, versus just academic, if that makes sense.
so do you think that Americans have at one point had a rose-colored idea of what Africa was,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
they got like
And
disappointed once
still
they got
do.
there, and now
Yeah,
they're
and still do. And still do.
let's get into that. Like, what are the rose-colored things that you see that we think that before we get there that we get like kind of like, it's not what we thought it was.
That everybody, I think the most rose-colored thing is that everything is just like that Africa's Wakanda, I guess. In quotation marks, that everything's perfect and I mean you won't have any challenges and that everybody has the same mindset as you, and that's just not the case.
What are like the different mindset that Americans have that Africans don't have that you find that might lead to roadblocks in travel in there?
Well, we grew up in completely different continents. So, our experience as Black Americans has been completely different from the experience of African in Africa. So it's a lot to unpack.
Mm.
But yeah, our experiences are completely different.
So, do you think that Nigeria is only for wealthy travelers, or can regular people afford it once they get there? Is it like is it expensive to like be there once you get there?
Well, it just depends on what you're trying to do.
Hmm.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're trying to do, or what kind of experience you want.
So, the places that you're going to be going, are those more affordable places, or do you need? I mean, what would you say the amount of money you need to have to comfortably enjoy your travel there? Like to say, okay, I'm not going to be like ass out. Like I went to South Africa back in 2006. I had $500 and I was able to, I wanted to stay up. I wish I had more money. I would have never left.
Well, as far as spending money and for souvenirs, I tell everybody to bring $1,000. Use it. You know, you don't. I just tell people bring $1,000 overall.
At least have about $1,000 if you're gonna go. Like that way you don't run out. Okay.
But they have ATM machines. You can transfer money yourself. So,
Do they like accept credit cards like from America, or do you need like to get like a different phone? Like, because I know that there's certain like in Cuba, I know Cuba it was like a big culture shock to me because nothing worked over there for that you had in America.
cash is king. Cash is king.
You can use US dollars.
Some places. Well, no. So you exchange money to the local currency, but cash is king. So for the most part, I tell people to bring cash. But depending on where you're at, they'll accept debit cards. But for the most part, we're dealing with Nigeria. Cash is king.
Do you need to have a separate phone? Like once you get there, would you say, as soon as you get off the plane, should you go get like a cell phone at the airport so you'll be able to communicate as soon as you get off the plane in the airport? Or do they have like places where you can transfer?
You know what would be good? Can you share your screen?
Yeah. Go ahead. Present.
Go to Danfo DANFO.Africa.
Yep. I was already there, but I was in Nigeria.
Okay, click on frequently asked questions. So under destinations, or if you're on your desktop, the far right on the top, it should say FAQ. Click on that.
Okay.
Right. That right there is like a guide to anybody who's watching this, as far as any questions you might have to traveling to Africa.
Right. So if you go to his website, let me just put the website up, the Downfall website.
I think that covers everything. Were you getting your questions from this part of the site, from this page on the site?
No, actually, I actually
because this answers pretty much all the questions as well.
That I've been okay. What about okay? What about so let's all right. So what about romanticizing about Africa? We already talked about that. What do Nigerians actually think about African Americans that you know of?
I mean, it depends on my experience has been great in Nigeria. My experience overall has been great.
So here's another. So what are the top 5 places everyone must see in Nigeria?
I haven't been to all of Nigeria. I've only been to like maybe 6 states. So I'm of course Ile-Ife, Ocean Grove, Lagos, the new Yoruba museum, the John Randall Center. Let's see here. Lekki Conservation Center. Fela, the shrine, the Kalakuta. Those are a few of the different.
Oh, so they have a shrine to Fela. That's
yeah. Yeah, and we visit there.
Oh, okay. So that's going to be a part of the trip. That's going to be wonderful. We're going to get into the trip, pretty soon. So, what are the best food people have to try in Africa?
In Africa, in general,
in Nigeria. I'm sorry.
I love the suya. It's like a Nikkei Art Museum. Thank you, Larry. Can't forget about Mama Nikkei Balagu Market. As far as the best food, I love suya. I'm a big suya guy. I love the egusi with pounded yam. but really the suya.
I can't do the egusi. That's too slimy. Is that made of okra? What is it made of? The slimy. I don't know. Ugh. I don't like
Yeah.
slime. Like
Well, what,
if it
what do you
wasn't
like?
so
What
slimy.
what Nigerian food have you eaten?
It was I ate like a tilapia fish that was like cooked a certain way. It was really good. It was a tilapia, and I never whatever this tilapia. It wasn't like a regular tilapia we have over here. This tilapia had like it was a full big huge fish tilapia, and because we have a place here called Murphy's, it's a Nigerian thing, and I've seen there. I see people eat like a goat head something where it's like a goat.
So you haven't had like eba or suya or egusi or
No, I just had that tilapia,
okay.
but
So
I've seen
you just had just okay. So you haven't had any like proper like have you had jollof rice?
yeah, jollof, yeah, yep.
Okay. So no pounded yam,
No,
no
nope,
pepper soup.
nope.
All right. Well, yeah, we gotta introduce you to some like some proper Nigerian food. Not saying jollof rice and barbecue or grilled tilapia. I mean, you get grilled tilapia anywhere. But outside of jollof rice, we gotta introduce you to some proper Nigerian
So
food.
is that the as long is I'm not sure whatever it was I had because I had a friend who was Nigerian. She cooked it and it was made with this I forget what this seed whatever this powder was that she put into it made it slimy. I don't know what it was, but I was like, oh, it reminded me of okra, and I have like nightmares growing up when my mom used to make me eat okra, and so
Okay.
like, ugh. But okay. What we're gonna say? What's one thing you should never do in Nigeria?
Um, what's one thing you wouldn't do here in America?
I don't know. I've done a lot of things in America. I've
Okay,
done
when
a
you say
lot of
not do, like when you say not do, like what do you
like. Is there a specific like something that okay, if you do this, it is going to be your hell on wheels for you to get out of it? Like there,
I mean,
people go over to different countries and
don't steal. Don't break the law.
I can't do wet soupy pastas or food for foodie.
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
Walk
yeah,
in a
yeah.
bad area
Don't.
at night. Okay, sounds reasonable. How do you know if it's a bad area though?
Well, I mean
Is it that
that's
obvious?
I
Because
mean
like in America, you could be in an area you don't even know is bad. But is it like
that's I mean that's global. I mean you
common
don't walk
sense, right?
don't walk in don't walk in any bad areas at night.
Definitely don't steal. So
Yeah, yeah. Don't steal.
I know
Yeah.
in certain places that even I show speed went to like that had diamonds, like you couldn't take a diamond home. It was like no, that the beer is only that can't touch that.
Mhm.
Is there any specific things in Nigeria? It's like that you would think that would be on limits, that would be off limits, but that people just wouldn't even be aware of.
No, I think it's very clear if something is off limits is off limits. Like you'll be notified and told like, hey, you can't enter here or you can't touch that. So
Is Africa? You would say so? You pretty much say is Africa safer than parts of America?
no, it just depends which part of Africa and which part of America.
So it's pretty much just across the board, like similar. 'Cause you know what? When I heard about even Mexico, people were like, "Oh, Mexico City, they're gonna like drag you out of your car and kidnap." But then you go there, it's like, okay, well, you get to realize that it's a little bit different. So,
Oh,
is the
here's one.
traffic
Here's one. I wouldn't. Well, people really don't do this here in America either. Like, I wouldn't drink the tap water.
well? If you cooking, you're gonna drink the tap water. If someone's cooking, are they gonna cook with some
Oh,
other water?
well. Okay. See, I see. This is the thing, Mike. With conversations like this so I'm writing an article today. I'm gonna call it African anxiety syndrome, and
Okay, let's talk about it.
just people just overcomplicate everything, and it's just like just go freaking live. I
Thank
mean,
you.
I
I was
mean,
waiting on you to come about your
know,
shell. You been up here
like
like,
it's
come
just
on now.
because again, don't drink the water. Well, they cook with the water. Like, I mean, you'll be fine. You could cook with the water.
Well, yeah,
But
the
it's
water,
just,
will be.
I just think, it's just, um, when it comes to Africa, sometime, and again, you want to be safe, but we just overcomplicate everything just when it comes to Africa because we have just this dumbfounded paranoia
Mm.
of everything. It's just like just go live. Like
Right.
I mean, and the thing is, like, when you're with the people, they'll tell you like, "Hey, don't do that, don't do this." But just to give like a rundown, a list of everything, what to do and what not to do, it's hard to do when when you're not there. You have the basic stuff, but then what happens when you come up with all these rules, like one, so for example, don't drink the water. Oh, that means I can't eat the food. No, no, you can eat the food. You know, um, so once you give one suggestion, then all of a sudden here comes people with like a million other suggestions or rules that you have to follow just off that one. And that's just not always the case. Um, but yeah, let's not overcomplicate this.
So Togbe Koku said, do not refuse to wear a hijab in the BH areas. I'm not sure where that.
I don't know what BH areas mean.
And someone says, many encourage women not to take taxi loans. So when you do your trip, are people going to be traveling? Like, okay, once they get there, they have a set schedule, but then they can like kind of veer off. Like, so if they want to like take a taxi, is it like say, okay, don't take the taxi alone? Or
They have Uber, so I haven't heard any situations with people who but usually when people come and at night they want to go out on their own, they usually go out with other people with the group. So
So Nigeria is not my cup of tea. Well, all right, but this is about how to travel too in Nigeria. Fools say the word Africa extremely loose, as if it's the smallest swear. We're talking about Nigeria mainly, but that's what we're talking about. All right. Can you actually move to Nigeria without an issue?
huh?
Like for instance, if you were to want to like move there, is it a hard process?
As long as you know the right people um that help you transition,
Is this tour going to be like a thing where it's going to be teaching people how to like if they
No,
move?
so I stick strictly with tours and experiences. As far as I'm not a relocation specialist. I no longer do real estate. I'm focusing strictly on tours.
So what made you get out of that realm?
It's a lot,
Mm.
and I think another thing too. You have a lot of people. In fact, I was having this conversation with a lady today. She's like, "Oh, I want my citizenship. I want to invest." Okay, well, I mean, have you ever been to Africa before? No. Just go visit. Like just go visit first. Just go go have a good time, enjoy yourself, put 10 toes on the ground, and just visit first. And then worry about all that stuff later. Just go visit first. So but even then, outside of that, like I'm not a relocation specialist. I do, as of right now, I curate experiences to Africa. I'm gonna get you there and bring you back. That's it. That's all.
Right.
As
So
far as far as moving in real estate, that's a completely separate conversation. I can direct you into the right. I can point you into the right direction, but I would still suggest that you still do your own due diligence or research.
let's get into this tour that you have coming up to Nigeria. And we plan on promoting all of the tours that Don Folk is going to be doing. I hope to be able to do a show how to travel to Tanzania, how to do that, I really want to promote what you're doing because I think, oh, now Nigeria looks stressful and looks like it stinks. Okay, that's crazy. Because hell, parts of America stink. If I ride down the street down here where this water plant is in Mesquite, they're gonna be like, you're gonna smell sewage and everything. So it stinks everywhere. Anyways, so let's get into the trip. Could you kind of outline? I know you're gonna probably say just read the website, but people don't know how to read nowadays anyway. So let's get into
we're on the website, so we can scroll through it. Go ahead.
All right. So let's get into the trip. So you're going to be doing 9 and 8 days at the Oshun Festival Tour. What is the Oshun Festival Tour? Give us an idea of what is going to be happening during this tour. What is this tour?
Right. So the tour is centered around the Oshun Festival. So the Oshun Festival, the Oshun, the Orisha, we go to her. It's called Ocean Grove, right? And so it's in celebration or giving honor in reference to the Orisha Oshun. So that's where we're going. That's what the tour is centered around. Is that specific festival, but we have we have activities throughout that week that we participate in. So the first half of the tour is going to be in Oshun State. We go to Ilife, we go to Makino of Otoruo. Then of course we go to the Oshun Festival. Then the second half of the tour is going to be in Lagos.
Okay. All right. So let's go into what why during this time? Why is this a big time to go?
Well, we're going for the Oshun Festival. So the Oshun Festival is every August.
But other than that, like other than every August, like what else is there? Like is it like when everybody is there? Is it like a big deal? Like
Right. So a lot of people go to those Oshun festivals. So I focus on festivals for the majority of my trips, or I try to. And so the Oshun Festival is one of the bigger festivals. So that's why we go. That's why we plan this tour around the Oshun Festival.
I'm good. Could you expound some more? Hold on, I just got a quick phone call. Could you talk a little bit more about the tour? Hold on one second.
Mhm. Yeah. So guys, we're gonna have a great time. We're leaving August 2nd. Arrive to Lagos on the 3rd. We're going straight to Oshogbo. We have experiences lined up in Oshun State. So we're doing Ilife. Ilife is known to be the birthplace of humankind, or in the Yoruba people. We're going to spend time at my kingdom of Otoruo, spend time at Oshogbo. Then the grand finale is the Oshun Festival in Oshogbo. Okay, Oshun Oshogbo, which is one of the larger festivals in, I call it Yoruba land, which is the Southwest. Also, the elections, the Oshun State governor election is that Saturday following the Oshun Festival. Then we're going to go straight up Ibadan Highway, head back to Lagos, and then the remainder of our trip is going to be spent in Lagos. We're going to visit the John Randall Center. We're going to visit the shrine. If you guys familiar with Fela Kuti? Anybody in the chat familiar with Fela Kuti? So we're gonna visit the shrine. We're gonna visit the Kalakuta, which used to be the home of Fela, which is now a museum, hotel, and restaurant. So there are other activities that are planned I like saying experiences. See, I don't like using the term tour and activities. Say experiences. I got to change that. Oh, June Festival experience. I got to change that. We're going to be changing that. In that are lined up in Nigeria. Nigeria is a beautiful country, probably one of the most beautiful countries in the world. Okay, it's just with the negative um connotations and the stereotypes and the negative propaganda that is, that's being pushed out about Nigeria all the time. A lot of people don't consider visiting Nigeria, but the first time I went to Nigeria in 2018, I absolutely fell in love with Nigeria. Um, Safety. So again, Nigeria is a country made up of 36 different states. All right. We're going to primarily be in Oshun State and Lagos State. That's where we're going to be. All right. We're not going to be in Niger State. We're not going to be in what's some of the other states that we're not going to be in the north. There we go. Very far from the north. So you'll be fine. You'll be fine. If safety was an issue, I wouldn't go. Again, yeah, we're not going to Borno, we're not going to Benue, we're not going to Kano. We're going to be in the Southwest. And also too, if you're very interested in Ifa, like the first half of the trip is the introduction into Ifa. We're going to the source as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Will you also be able to like get a reading from a Babalao? Are you connected in that aspect of things where people be able to like, do those type of things from a spiritual
Yes.
standpoint?
Yeah. So absolutely. So that first half of the trip is going to be very spiritual focused and orientated.
Mhm.
That first half of the trip, because we're going to be at the source of Ifa and Yoruba spirituality. So of course we have to
Are you going to
have.
get to go to the compounds of the kings and things like that? Or
Well, we're going to go to my king's compound, and also we go to the Uni Ife's compound as well.
wonderful. So, listen, real quick, if anybody has any further questions that they want to come up, hit the link. We're just, going to stay here a little bit longer. We're not going to go too far long with this. The main thing that I did this for was to promote his trip and to let
Thank
people
you.
know about the trips that he has. So he has this trip in going to Nigeria. It's look for 9 days and 8 nights, 4,800 with flight. Come on now, that's not bad. So that's not a bad thing. The 9 days and you have your whole itinerary. You do everything planned out for you. That's a steal. So I think that people should definitely like check it out. So it's like a 10-day tour. So go a little bit further into the tour real quick. I'm sorry, I'm getting like calls back to back. So go a little bit further into the other things that be going on.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are interested in joining, visit Danfo.Africa, DANFO.Africa. Visit Danfo.Africa, and love to host you on one of our experiences. Yeah, yeah. But we already gave you guys a run through. Come and join us at Danfo.Africa. Not only are we going to Nigeria, we're going to Senegal next month, May 9th to the 18th. Nigeria is in August. Zanzibar in September. In November, we're doing Ghana, Ivory Coast, um, and Sierra Leone, and then we're doing Benin in January for the Voodoo Festival. So come check us out. Hope you get to East Africa. I've been to East Africa, so we're going to Zanzibar in September. But I've been to East Africa was the first part of the continent I visited in 2011. Let's see here. What other questions we got? I appreciate you too. Let's see here. What does bespoke tour mean, Dynast? That means any tour that you plan outside of the group. So if you wanted your own tour, that's what that means. Yeah. But come join one of the groups.
Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. All right, so guys, this was a great live stream that we were able to cover a lot about the tour. Please visit his website at donfo.org,
Not Africa. Not Africa.
Africa, and please check out his multiple tours he has coming up throughout Africa, including Tanzania, Senegal. I mean, he has tours that he does all throughout the year. I think coming up for up into what next year, 2027.
Yeah. So yeah, till January, up to January.
up to January. So please check them out. If you guys don't want to come up and speak or ask any questions, just check out the website. This is the main thing, was just to promote the fact that if you're thinking about going over to Africa, he has a great, like his tours are very organized. He's going to Nigeria, Benin, Senegal, Ghana, Zanzibar, Namibia, Accra, Cape Town. So if you're thinking about going to any of those places, definitely check his website out and give him your support. Much love.
Thank you.
What are some final words that you want to say on the way out the door?
He used to do custom garments from Senegal. Is he ever going to bring that back? No, not at this time. It was a lot. So not at this time. But no, everybody visit the site. Love to hear from you. Love to host you on one of our tours. Visit Africa, and yeah, that's it.
Right. Dynast is a very laid back individual. So, just understand that. It's like, look, just go on the website. So much love, guys. Dynast is doing a great job. Yes, he is. And like I said, that not too much times you get to like go on tour, like have a whole catered tour, not catered, but like a whole itinerary out, where you're going to be going. That doesn't exist without people overcharging and overpricing it. His stuff is very affordable if you do it. So please check him out. Please support him. Again, the website is donfo.africa. The FAQ is right there. All your questions should be asked on top of the ones that I asked here. They should be very clear on what to do. Much love and peace.
Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah, yeah, yeah. See, if you believe in the God in you,